slowly scraping away ice and snow, strangling the highway system. Police are escorting each unit as they create driving lanes on I-65 and the Gene Snyder Freeway. Last week, several Kentucky interstates were closed due to the ice and snow. The ice and snow in our region drove many people to the car washes today. After a long week of constant salt buildup, area car washes have been seeing a booming business. The week's first relatively warm break brought in long lines of filthy cars.
Salt and dirt and mud and you name it, it's on there.
After the snow closed business for 3 days last week, these lines were a welcome surprise for manager Mike Woodleaf. He had to bring in 10 extra workers to handle the business.
Through the self-service here, probably around 1,500, and through the automatic here, we washed close to 350 yesterday.
Waiting Sunday's less than ideal weather wasn't a problem for most.
No, this is warm compared to the weather the last couple of days. I feel like running around in shorts, but don't want to get exposed to all this water.
Business is booming here because most drivers know what road salt can do to a car's finish.
I don't want the salt to eat away at it. If this will make it last a couple years longer, then that'll be fine.
Costs too much money to leather rust.
Waiting too long to wash can cost you, especially on an older car.
On a car that's already got body damage, that's eaten up in rust, it can get in and it's just like cancer. It just spreads real quick.
A researcher at East Tennessee State University says AIDS patients benefit from regular exercise. Professor of Allergy and Immunology, Dr. J. Kelly Smith, says that's because exercise produces more natural killer cells to fight the disease and feel better mentally. Smith says the benefit comes from moderate exercise. He says strenuous training is not suggested. Well, they're clean and they don't smell. Just about the greatest compliment many of us will give to snakes and lizards. But as News Center 5's Linda Huang reports, their popularity is growing.
There's nothing like a fluffy new puppy or kitten to warm a pet owner's heart. But if heartwarming is not your style and a dog or cat doesn't fit your lifestyle, there's always the carefree reptile.
They're a lot cleaner. They don't smell like cats and dogs. You don't have to take them for walks. They can just sit and look pretty. Puppies and cats can be jealous if you don't spend enough time with them. Reptiles really don't care.
But just like your more traditional pets, reptiles can come out to play. Of course, it's limited with a 6-foot albino Burmese or a 3-foot Burundi monitor. If for nothing else, these pets make a great conversation piece among friends. But there's more to owning a reptile than that, like their appetite of other small animals or their cold-blooded status.
You have to be very careful about heat. They can't be cold at all. Otherwise, they will get sick. And you can't just one day wake up and say, I want a reptile, and then go out and buy one. I would suggest reading, especially the big snakes and the big lizards.
Big may be an understatement, as this snake owner had discovered. His 20-foot Burmese no longer needs a cage, but its very own room. This one will also grow to 20 feet. And this Burundi, about the size of a 6-foot crocodile. Now, if you're shopping for a reptile pet like you would a car, these green iguanas are among the most popular and trouble-free. They eat only vegetables, and they're fairly inexpensive. Meaning it's about $265. The monitors go for about $300, and the extremely rare albino Burmese goes for about $800.
That's realism.
Now, reptile pets certainly aren't for everyone. Children are fascinated with them, but just like any other pet, they need to be handled properly and with care. In Bristol, Tennessee, Linda Huang, News Center 5.
Well, not quite warm enough for reptiles, but it's going to feel like a heat wave. Dave Dirks with your warming weekday forecast. He's next with weather. And in our consumer segment, remember 8-track tapes? Pretty soon, we may be asking the same thing about cassette tapes. That story coming up when News Center 5 continues.
Where's the remote?
It's my turn.
Huh?
During Hardee's Daily Double Values, get any 2 double cheeseburgers for just $2.
What a deal.
Okay, you done?
Regular double cheeseburger, new grilled onion, or new barbecue double cheeseburger. 2 for $2.
Barbecue.
I gotta have that.
Hurry to Hardee's. Get any 2 double cheeseburgers, just $2. Now for a limited time.
Hey, what's it gonna take?
Just $2.
And now for breakfast, 2 Hardee's mouth-watering sausage and egg biscuits. Just $2. Hardee's. to your Toyota dealer and get hot. Check out the hot Corolla lease. For just $179 a month, you get all the quality and reliability of Corolla. Or save big on Tercel. With a low starting price of $86.98, it's very affordable. Hot cars and hot deals. Don't get left out in the cold. See your Toyota dealer now. Toyota.
Due to the winter weather, Eye Ear Optical is having a gigantic storm sale. You must call Monday, January 24th, and schedule your appointment for any time this week to get your glasses at half price. So if you're snowed in, just call anytime Monday and set up an appointment with Eye Ear Optical nearest you to receive your complete glasses, frames, and lenses at half price. Call Monday to take advantage of the Eye Ear Optical sensational half-price storm sale.
Well, Mr. Popular, the guy with all of the school closings and a decent forecast.
Yeah, a decenter forecast, I guess, compared to last week. We still had a lot of clouds today, but we were above freezing to near 40 degrees, and gradually we're going to be working up to 50. And that by standards, we've become used to is pretty darn good.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead, Cheryl, and check out those schools yet closed on Monday in Virginia. We have Dickinson County, Wise County, Grayson County, Lee County, Scott County, Buchanan County, Castlewood Christian, and also Russell counties. Now closed in Tennessee, we have Hawkins County, Johnson County, Hancock County, and also Carter County. In Kentucky, Jenkins Independent Schools. But teachers, please report at 9 a.m. for an in-service day. In North Carolina, work days for the teachers, but students have a day off at Avery County and also Ashe County. Now, on the snow schedule, Norton, Virginia City Schools, Kingsport Christian, also Sullivan County on roads that are clear only. Yancey County, 1 hour. Mountain Empire Community College on clear roads only. Tazewell County, a 2-hour delay. Watauga County, 1 hour delay. And also Washington County, Virginia, 2-hour delay. And Washington County, Tennessee, a 1-hour delay. And Wise County Christian, 1.5 hour delay. Unicoi County, Tennessee on regular schedule, but buses not running on Edwards Branch, Peets Creek, Rector Laurel, or the Upper Stone Mountain. Okay, folks, that's the closings, but you know what's doing this? All the cold and snow that we have and this brutally cold air that shattered records last week was a real pain for most of us. However, the skiers are saying it's icing on the cake. This colder than normal winter we are enduring has made for ideal skiing, and these are scenes from atop Sugar Mountain, North Carolina last night, where they are reporting all slopes open. Similar conditions are being reported at all area ski resorts, and night skiing adds another dimension to the sport. However, both night and day skiers are keeping the slopes busy. As a matter of fact, this resort had rented all of its skis, and videographer Joe Gregg had to roll down the hill. And I'm sure he had fun doing that as well. But boy, this has been an ideal year for those folks. So there are people enjoying it, and I'm happy for them. 35 degrees and drizzle outside currently. Relative humidity is at 85%. Our barometric pressure is rising from 30.27 inches. The wind is calm, and 3/100ths of an inch from this light rain and drizzle during the course of this evening. But at least temperatures are above freezing. I think most areas will stay above freezing tonight as we look at most of us staying in the 30s. And I don't see more than a couple of degree drop from what you see on the board right now, but certainly the satellite loop does show that clouds are very thick and the low-level moisture is very thick. So we're going to have a hard time breaking up the clouds, but there certainly is a milder air mass than what we've had the past couple of days. As a matter of fact, it got above freezing as far north as Michigan, Pennsylvania, and also New York. And that included, of course, our entire 5-state region. Most locations made it at least into the 40s. Here we are, Lexington and the Tri-Cities, the only two not to do that. And you move eastward where they had sun today. Raleigh at 58, a beautiful day. In Wilmington, a high of 62 degrees. And this warmth expands westward. Several record highs in the middle of the nation, including Omaha, Nebraska, at 63 degrees. These are places, gang, that were down to 20 and 30 below zero during the course of this last week. So, boy, they have warmed up, and I'm sure they're all happy out across this part of the world. But out west, rains and also some mountain snows. Two distinct little disturbances here. One is now moving into the Intermountain West, and another one just beginning to push onshore along the coast of California, Washington, and Oregon. Both of them promise to bring more rain and mountain snow to the west. Radars don't pick it up too well out here because there just aren't a whole lot of radars, and the coverage is greater than what's actually showing up out here. As far as we are concerned, our radars work fine. and they're not picking up the drizzle because it's just too light to be detected. But a couple of light showers here across central southern Tennessee, also down through Texas and Louisiana, and a little snow out across portions of New England. Your weather, excuse me, your weather map Monday evening showing high pressure near the southeast coast of Georgia. Flow around high pressure is southwesterly, or at least counterclockwise, or clockwise, and that's bringing up a southwest airflow. And that will continue to keep things rather cloudy, but I think the rain showers will be holding off out across the lower Mississippi Valley. The cold air behind this frontal boundary that is going to be draped across the Great Lakes and also the Northeast. There are signs, though, by the end of the week that we'll see another intrusion of cold air come southward as this Pacific storm heads eastward. The end result is going to be a rather rainy period coming up midweek and lasting through Thursday. But the good news is mild temperatures ahead of this storm will guarantee at or above normal temperatures through most of this work week. We'll detail that forecast next.
I could sure use my refund, my income tax refund. I need that tax refund right now. Man.
Come to H&R Block and quit singing the tax refund blues, because nothing's faster, nothing's easier than electronic filing with Block's Rapid Refund.
Got my tax refund, H&R Block's Rapid Refund, and got me this new guitar.
H&R Block's Rapid Refund. Nothing's faster, nothing's easier.
I want Congress to pass health care reform. Make sure everyone is covered. But not force us to buy our insurance from these mandatory government health alliances. So we couldn't choose a plan that's not on their list, even if we think it's better for our employees and their families. Not according to this. But Congress can fix that. Cover everyone and let us pick the plan we want. And they will, if we send them that message.
For the facts you need to send Congress a message, call today.
The road to the Super Bowl is brought to you by Tri-City Air Conditioning Company.
In a Buffalo snowstorm, the Bills and Dolphins put up a blizzard of touchdowns as they combined for a playoff record 78 points. Quarterback Jim Kelly made a triumphant return from injury as he passed for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. By outscoring the Miami Dolphins 44-34, the Buffalo Bills took the next step on the road to the Super Bowl.
Well, let's go ahead and skip a few days down the road, just kind of show you what that Pacific storm is going to be doing on Thursday. The low itself, the center of energy, probably passing near Chicago. Fairly strong cold front, though, could guarantee some maybe some heavy rainfall for the area on Thursday, which might complicate the problems with the snow melt. So we'll have to keep an eye on the situation as this thing unfolds. And it looks like colder air come in behind this for the upcoming weekend. But that's days down the road. Let's enjoy the mild weather we have for the next 3 days. For tonight, cloudy and mild with some areas of drizzle and fog. Most of us staying above freezing, so I don't anticipate any road problems except maybe where there is ice on the road, and drizzle would then obviously just kind of freeze on that. So be careful. There will be some slick spots on our secondary roads. Highs tomorrow will be between about 45 and 50, maybe some peaks at sunshine, but overall I think it will be mostly cloudy and then still mild at night, lows in the 30s. Chance of rain showers by Tuesday afternoon, but I think most of this will be light through Wednesday, but kind of gloomy, highs in the 50s. Best chance of rain Thursday. And then cooler, drier air will build in on Friday and Cheryl probably for the weekend. But if we can get above 50 degrees, it's going to feel great. You're right. It'll feel like a heat wave.
You're right. Okay. Sounds like that cold weather got you a cold, too.
Yeah, well, I've had one for about 4 weeks now. I just can't get rid of it.
Oh, okay. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Got it.
Well, first it was the 8-track, then vinyl, and now the ever-popular cassette may be on its way out. In tonight's consumer segment, News Center 5's Scott Nagel explains why cassettes are a dying breed.
History may be repeating itself once again at the music stores. Nowadays, you may notice a steady flow of foot traffic along the CD aisles, with the cassette section getting less play. Compact discs are now the format of choice, with the sales figures to prove it. One industry indicator, SoundScan, reports in 1993 that CDs captured 53% of the market share, with an increase of 8% over the year before, while cassettes dropped 8% this past year. The falling cassette popularity has prompted one nationwide chain to change its tune. Tower Records is cutting down on its stock of pre-recorded tapes.
Sales are going down, so we definitely need to respond to that in terms of getting things where they belong. It certainly does not in our best interest to carry thousands and thousands of titles if we're only selling a few hundred titles.
Remember these? Good old vinyl. Not only have they all but vanished from the music stores, they've almost become quaint, much like antique hand-cranked phonographs. And that seems to be a trend with recorded technology.
You can load or unload 4 discs while the 5th one still plays inside on a CD player.
While compact disc players wow prospective buyers, the question is, will the cassette soon go the way of the 8-track? Some say it's just a matter of time.
I think we might be seeing the end of the cassette within the next few years. It still has popularity, but the CD has virtually taken over.
CDs, for our society, it's a lot easier. Everyone's lazy and they can just push a button. They don't have to rewind and find a song.
I always need them for the car because people do have CD players in the car, but it really hadn't caught on as much.
The compact disc may have taken over for now, but rapid advances in technology tend to make consumers fickle, and CDs may eventually join vinyl in the oldies racks. Scott Nagel, News Center 5.
We're out of time. Thanks for joining us this weekend.
From News Center 5 and WCYB TV, this is Highlights Tonight.
Good evening and welcome to Highlights Tonight. I'm Tyler Suiters. Thanks for joining us. Tennessee basketball celebrates a first in 1994, and Daytona gets ready for the Fords. But we begin with 2 NFL showdowns. First, the NFC Championship, a rematch of the '93 contest. San Francisco and Dallas taking to the turf in the Lone Star State at Texas Stadium. And these two teams know each other all too well as this trouble starts before they even kick off. The scrapping and talking getting going. But once the play starts, Dallas gets on the board first. Emmitt Smith busts in for a 5-yard run. 7-0 Cowboys on front. Jimmy Johnson likes what he sees so far, but the 49ers strike right back. Steve Young looking and finds Tom Rathman. The fullback bowls his way in. That ties it up at 7 apiece. But the Cowboys start to roll. Already up 14-7, Troy Aikman gets hot. First he finds Emmitt Smith, 11-yard score, untouched into the end zone is Smith. And then Aikman finds one of his favorite targets, tight end Jay Novacek. Novacek lowers the shoulder, lowers the boom, gets in the end zone. 28-7 Cowboys at the half. Bad news for Dallas, though. Watch Troy Aikman's head and Dennis Brown's right knee. Oh, that's going to sting. Troy Aikman get knocked a little goofy, and he has to leave the game, sits out the rest of the second half. But it's okay because the Cowboys have that man, Bernie Kosar, and he throws to former UT Vol Alvin Harper. And if you watched him in his days in Knoxville, no one will catch him. You know that. Cowboys out in front, and they pull away. 38-21 the final score. Back to the Super Bowl for the boys.
You know, everybody kind of more or less doubted us when we started off 0-2 this year, but, you know, we hung in there, and sure, we're going back to Atlanta.
I mean, I'm not thinking about Buffalo right now. I'm thinking about this win we just won. It was a big win for us. You know, it's tough to beat a team like San Francisco, and we've beaten them 3 times in a row. You know, that we're going to sit back and enjoy this one. Enjoy the fact that we're going to the Super Bowl.
There's a look at your final score, 38-21. Dallas, their second straight Super Bowl appearance is upcoming on Sunday after downing the Niners for the second straight year. Well, another carbon copy of a championship game in the AFC this afternoon. Buffalo hosting the title game for the 4th straight season. And Joe Montana, perhaps the best postseason quarterback ever, once again trying to work his playoff magic. But this time it's with Kansas City. Marty Schottenheimer and the Chiefs trying to dethrone AFC champs Marv Levy and his Bills. The Buffalo strikes first, and they would strike often, as a matter of fact. Thurman Thomas busts up the gut for 12 yards. Buffalo on top, 7-0. A big day for Thurman Thomas. Kansas City comes right back, though. 2 field goals off the foot of Nick Lowry, both 31-yarders. Cuts the Bills' lead to 7-6. Here comes Thurman Thomas once again. This is just a 3-yarder, but it gives Buffalo the lead for good. 14-6, the Bills out in front. Joe Montana, a rough afternoon for the Chiefs at the helm of the offense. The half's winding down. Montana looks for Kim Anders off his numbers and onto the numbers of Henry Jones, the Bills' defensive back, with a pickoff. 26 Buffalo at the half. Kansas City would get no closer. In fact, neither would Joe Montana. Look at 3 Bills get a hold of Joe. knock him out as well. Bad day for quarterbacks in the championship games. He would sit out the rest of the game, and the Bills pull off the victory 31-13.
All the guys that have been on the football team just had to be able to step up and, answer the beat. They had to answer it, because if we didn't step up, we knew everybody would come at us and run us right out of the stadium, right out of their stadium.
There's your final score, Buffalo 31-13. I guess like the Bulls, the Bills have won 4 straight AFC championships, putting together a run of their own at home. Here's what that means. Next week's Super Bowl, it is number 28, Sunday, January 30th, Dallas and Buffalo, a rematch of last year's title game. Dallas, of course, winning that one in a blowout, 52-17. That one was no contest at all. But the Bills did win at Texas Stadium earlier this season, but of course the Cowboys were out Emmitt Smith. This is a different story. Dallas and Buffalo, of course, you can catch the game right here on WCYB next Sunday. Well, stay with us when Highlights Tonight continues. A handful of college hoop action, including a local high school standout who's finally feeling right at home.
The people and the stories you talk about.
I'm not asking for sympathy.
In-depth investigations that matter to you. Reporters who take you inside the news.
What are you doing renting to juvenile? Get out of here!
Who make a difference.
Can you answer the question?
Bill O'Reilly.
You gotta go live.
Rolanda Watts.
Got the story.
The one broadcast worth watching every day is this one. Don't miss the next Inside Edition.
Inside Edition, weekday afternoons at 5 on WCYB.
On the next American Journal, cancer took her husband, but not before their prayers were answered with healthy quadruplets.
These babies have been blessed.
Now, American Journal takes you to the town that's adopted 4 little kids.
This was meant to happen, and they'll be taken care of.
The story of the Swainsboro quadruplets is just one of the stories worth watching on the next American Journal with Nancy Glass.
Monday afternoon at 12:30 on WCYB.
When Mother Nature strikes, she doesn't fool around. San Francisco, 1989. Hurricane Andrew. Los Angeles, 1994. They're the most devastating natural disasters of our time. Now, hear firsthand from the heroes and the survivors on the next Maury Povich Show. Dramatic footage like you've never seen before. Plus, find out how you can help the victims in L.A. on the next Maury.
Monday at 3 on WCYB.
Welcome back to Highlights Tonight. Several upsets among the lower echelon of college basketball's top 25 yesterday, and that certainly seemed like good news for the Virginia Cavaliers. The Cavs beginning the day at an impressive 10-5, needing a win over Georgia Tech to venture into the ranked. But Bobby Cremins and the Yellow Jackets are on their home court, and that just may have been the difference this afternoon. Tech gets started early on the fast break. Travis Best working his magic. Look at the reverse layup. Picks up the foul as well. 20 points for young Travis, the point guard. The Bees keep up the pressure, but this time it's the Cavs who do it. Junior Burrow, the former Oak Hill standout, hits the jumper. Jeff Jones likes what he sees so far. Says get the ball back to Junior, and that's just what the Cavs offense does. Junior one more time from baseline. 18 points for Junior. That leads the way for UVA. But Tech is just so strong inside, mostly because of this man, James Forrest. Look at him bowl his way to the hoop and sink the short leaning jumper. 20 points for Forrest, and a big win for Georgia Tech, 74-70, your final score. The Cavs fall to 10-6, 4-2 in the ACC. On to another of the top hoop conferences, Big Ten matchup, Michigan at Illinois. The former Oak Hill standout, Maktar Injai, looking good with the Wolverines. This is just his 3rd or 4th game with the Wolverines after transferring from Wake, and he looks tough. Glad to see Mr. Injai is doing well. Junior Price goes to Jalen Rose. Mr. Rose doing well, as he has done for the past 2.5 years in Ann Arbor. Looking good for Michigan. But check out, the ball starts to begin to bounce Illinois' away. T.J. Wheeler with a three-pointer from the corner. He leads away for the Illini with 23 points. Lou Henson likes what he sees, but that starts to go down the tubes. Jalen Rose takes the game into his hands, hits the leaning jumper and the foul. 28 points for Jalen Rose. The final score, 74-70. Michigan pulls out the Big Ten win on Illinois' home court. More top 25 action, this time from our very own volunteer state, Memphis State, hosting number 19 Cincinnati. And the Tigers get going early. Cedric Henderson with 16 points to start things off. And Sylvester Ford, deuce, hits the tray from the corner. The Tigers with upset on their mind over the 19th ranked Bearcats. And it just keeps on going. Look at Johnny Miller with the flying jam and the foul. Bob Huggins, the Bearcats coach, can't really believe what he's seeing. Just wants to get out of there alive. One more shot for the Tigers. Sylvester Deuce Ford with a lay-in and the foul. He finishes up for 16 points. Memphis State pulls it out, snaps an 8-game slide, 62-55, the final there. One other top 25 score to pass along. Temple, no trouble with Rutgers, 78-56, the final. Well, although they're still probably not ready for the top 25, the Tennessee Vols have proven they are indeed ready for the SEC. Last night, Wade Houston and the Volunteers picking up their first conference win of the season, knocking off winless Auburn. But, hey, the Vols will take it because when you're 3-11, you can't afford to be real proud. The 92-85 victory is the Big Orange's first win since December 28th, but it wasn't all that easy. In fact, the Vols needed a 12-0 run at the end of the game to seal the victory, but pretty or not, it was a win. And the Vols hope this will finally put their dismal first half of the season behind them.
It just feels good, to after the tough loss of South Carolina and then, come back home and get a win. It really makes you feel better.
And we work harder and harder and harder. Every day in practice, we're getting better in the games. I mean, the margins of loss are getting closer and closer. Now we're finally over that hill, and now I think we're going to start a little streak of our own, a little winning streak, and hopefully we'll just key off of this victory and just remember this feeling for the rest of the season.
Another team hoping for the best of the rest of the season. The Miami Heat trying to shake a 7-game skid, hosting the Washington Bullets, and it's the Heat who gets going early. Fast break, pushing it out from Ronnie Cycli to Glenn Rice as he drops the bomb, stops and pops. Nice game for Mr. Rice. For the hot hand for the Heat belongs to point guard Steve Rice, Steve Smith, rather. Goes up to Grant Long, one of 15 assists from Mr. Smith. How about this assist from Michael Adams behind the back to Don McClain? He drops the jumper. Fulton Coast West Unsell likes what he sees, but hey, Don, you're a big man. You got to take it to the hole just like West did in the old days, and that's what Don McClain does. The powerful jam and the foul. A good night for Don McClain, but it's not enough as Washington falls to Miami 113-80. One other game in the NBA.